getting anything out of the mains now. Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, wait. Nope. Sorry, that's my bad. Operator.
Yeah, hey.
No, you're right. All right, cool. So we are live. I'm going to share it on.
What's happening? What's happening, Michael? How are you?
Hey, guys. How's it going, guys?
It's going well, thank you.
Good to see you, Ken.
Hi, Ken.
Good to meet you.
Adam.
Hey, Ken. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. If you guys want some beer, there's some beer there.
No barleys for me.
You're looking all spiffy, dude. Nice Argyle socks and the whole gang.
Working for a living.
Hey, man.
Sharing. We are live now. Okay, when I talk to the people, I should probably like look into a camera. Should be that camera there, as opposed to just like looking out. And all right, Grant, get me. Want to cue me there, Bruce? Hello, everybody out there in the internet world, honored and people guests. Welcome to Acoustic Moose with Kevin Knapp, Flowpoetry. So excited for this. Without any further ado, let's hear some music, guys.
Aces, deuces, one-eyed jacks, suicide kings and the queen of spades. Aces, deuces, one-eyed jacks, suicide kings and the queen of spades. Aces, deuces, one-eyed jacks, suicide king and the queen of spades. Dream me a way to get out of this maze. Serenade me in a circle of light. Walk me hand in hand across the land. I'll deal you in when the jokers are wild. I'll pick you up if you start to stumble. I'll help you look for a place to call home. I am sculpture to stone by Medusa. You know I looked her in the eyes. She strolls through silver beams of light. Scented dew. She floats on wings of fairy flowers and willows silken and green. Are you enjoying the night? She said with a smile. I muttered just under my breath, well, so far. Whispered in her ear with just a little bit of fear. You know, if I knew the score, I'd be better. Aces, deuces, one-eyed jacks, suicide kings and the queen of spades. Aces, deuces, one-eyed jacks, suicide kings and the queen of spades. Aces, deuces, one-eyed jacks, suicide kings and the queen of spades. this maze. Serenade me in a circle of light. Walk me hand in hand across the land. I'll deal you in when the jokers are wild. Slide me on down a sidereal light. Tell me you got everything covered. Spin me on through to a land of delight. Some hearts were born to be lovers. Are you feeling all right? She said with a wink. And I replied back with a shrug, well, so far. And just so you're clear, I whispered in her ear, you know, if I knew the score, I'd be better. Aces, deuces, one-eyed jacks, suicide kings and the queen of spades. Aces, deuces, one-eyed jacks, suicide kings and the queen of spades. Aces, deuces, one-eyed jacks, suicide kings and the queen of spades. If I see you in my dreams, will you open your eyes and tell me you've got everything covered? Flowers dark violet, like the very last sunset. Awesome hearts were born to be lovers. That silken green willow will wear on our heads. Use its shavings and bark to kindle fire. Link the chain of our names to the one that comes next. Oh, my heart is cold, and I need to hear stories. What lies under the Venice sand on the beach that you walk? Where you step, it melts and becomes glass. I see gemstones and mirrors and stained colors of light. Glass islands, glass mountains, glass beaches. As a baby, did you cry yourself into a trance? As a child, did you chase golden mist plovers? As a woman, did you climb up to the stars? Some hearts were born to be lovers. Aces, deuces, one-eyed jacks, suicide kings and the queen of spades. Aces, deuces, one-eyed jacks, suicide kings and the queen of spades. Aces, deuces, one-eyed jacks, suicide kings and the queen of spades. Hey, thanks to everybody for tuning in. This is Kevin. My name's Adam. Thanks to Audio for the Arts, man. Little poetry and music. Been a while, Kevin. Utmo autonomy reader. Mass equals force over acceleration. Or is it the other way around? A true sailor spoken. A disc jockey. In a Kansas cornfield at 1 a.m. playing, invisible is what is meant, not seen. Glee, fully lost. Tons come to mind. Compression, sense panoply, Congra love paintings, peacocks. When the guide was asked how a stalactite is formed, he said, it drips, mites grow up. KDKA, November 4th, 1920. Going back to the wagon, boys. These shoes are killing me. Scrounging tubes. Summertime lip gloss, over glossary, isogloss glossolalia, onomatopoeia, gluttony, not peacocks. All right, by the numbers. Silvertone, continental, melody cruiser, brandy bandy-legged, brandied, sour plum, increased auroral conditions. Autonomy reader. Mass equals force over acceleration. Or is it the other way around? A true sailor spoken. A disc jockey in a Kansas cornfield. At 1 a.m. playing, invisible is what is meant, not seen. Gleefully lost. Tons come to mind. Compression, sense panoply, Congra love paintings, peacocks. When the guide was asked how a stalactite is formed, he said, it drips, mites grow up. KDKA, November 4th, 1920. Going back to the wagon, boys. These shoes are killing me. Scrounging tubes. summertime lip gloss. Over gloss glossary, isogloss glossolalia, onomatopoeia. Gluttony, not peacocks. By the numbers, silver tone, continental, melody cruiser, loop the loop, brandy bandy legged, brandied, sour plum, increased auroral conditions.
Oh, I should probably say something, I suppose, and I don't know if I really need to. Adam's doing such a good job. But I just wanted to thank Buzz and thank Noah and thank Audio for the Arts just to give us this space to do some artistic whatever we're doing. And thanks to Adam for going on this journey with me, I suppose. Adam, how long has it been since we've had a gig together?
128 years.
I think that's about right. We used to play a lot of gigs. Which year do you suppose we played the most gigs?
I want to say 2012, maybe, or 2010. It was one of those two. I get it confused.
How many gigs that year?
117, maybe 120 plus, something like that.
That's borderline embarrassing.
They were all amazing, man.
No, it was a lot of fun. So, thanks to Audio for the Arts, and thanks to all of you for tuning in.
All right. This little one's about a trip I took to Chicago. It is a matter of openness, of drifting sideways, horizontal to black hole, B-flat, symphonic thump. Paddle ahead of the typhoon surge, high tide threatening. Light a storm lantern of love in an Illinois corn maze. Shout peace off the end of Navy Pier. Shout peace off the end of Navy Pier. And then sit strapped on the Ferris wheel. Neon red, white, and blue blinking tubes for spokes. And when I got to the top, my seat turned over upside down and hung over Lake Michigan upside down. And I looked at Chicago upside down. And the Sears Tower upside down, and the Wrigley Building upside down, and Buckingham Fountain upside down, slooshed into Lake Michigan and flooded Grant Park, and my heart kept pumping though I thought it would shiver upside down, as the blood fell from my feet to my brain upside down, until the wheel began to spin upside down, to the bottom upside down, and I walked through hawkers and gawkers upside down, and rode on the L 3 times around the upside down loop, till I spun to the south side to Chinatown upside down, and went into Everlasting Life Palace, and every fortune cookie read, first, then look. Yeah, leap first, then look. Leap first, then look. Upside down. Upside down. Upside down. Upside down. Upside down. Upside down. Leap first, then look. Upside down. Upside down. Upside down. Upside down. Upside down. Hey, how can I describe the lying in wait? In a room dark with silence and the windows all closed. How can I describe the sun waltzing in splendor? Like a gold flake drifting through a moat of desire. In a room dark with silence and the windows all closed. In a room dark with silence and the windows all closed. Sits a man drowning in the carpet he wove, with his own hand stuck on the loom he has built, own hand swimming through the warp and the web, own weaving caught on the thread which unraveled his being, busted on the slide when he wasn't even looking, on the edge of a silence magnificent, drained of his pain by the ink he is writing, devoured by the truth that he's just like another, speared by a narwhal that glides through the darkness at a depth of 100,000 fathoms under the sea. Sits a man drowning in the carpet he wove, with his own hand stuck on the loom he has built, with his own hand swimming through the warp and the web, oh, weaving caught on the thread which unraveled his being, busted on the slide when he wasn't even looking, lost, loaded on the edge, silence magnificent, drained of his pain by the ink he is writing, devoured by the truth that he's just like another, speared by a narwhal that glides through the darkness at a depth of 100,000 fathoms under the sea. Like a gold flake drifting. darkness at a depth of 108,000 fathoms under the sea. Speared by a narwhal that glides through the darkness at a depth of 108,000 fathoms under the sea. Sits a man drowning in the carpet he wove, own hand stuck on the loom he is built with his own hand swimming through the warp and the web, own weaving caught on the thread which unravel his being, busted on the slide when he wasn't even looking, lost loaded on the edge, silence magnificent, drained of his pain by his writing, devoured by the truth that he's just like another, speared by a narwhal that glides through the darkness at a depth of 108,000 fathoms under the sea. How can I describe? It is a matter of openness and receiving. Simple. Some wish for more. A matter of not. Hey, thanks for everybody who's tuning in. Again, Flowpoetry, Kevin, Adam, Noah, Michael, the whole gang. Thanks to Buzz and the whole crew for doing what they're doing. We're just having fun doing a little words and music. Thanks to the Acoustic Moose and the whole Audio for the Arts family. This is an old VGHT song. Johnny Techno rock just pop, machine beat bop down at the hop, silver string strum can't make him stop, jump jam jive, Mr. Lollipop, Mr. Lollipop. Eddie Punk don't smile, just skunk, spit stain into the slam he slunk, drum thump thunder won't ease his funk, slime street strut, Mr. Bag of Junk, Mr. Bag of Junk. Jump, jam, jive. Well, Hayward House don't dance, just he praise. Ridge rides, transference to the rave. Jericho horn seal up his cave. Glance can tell, no one robs this grave. No one robs his grave. Georgie Jam, don't jazz, just glam. Noodle-headed runaway on the lamb. Crystalline cord can't grease his cram. Ground score tweak, Mr. Swirly Scam. Oh, Mr. Swirly Scam. Kid computer, don't think, just blink. Plastic layer, sip, stare, can't see ink. Enter delete, won't deodor his stink. Corporate shine, monolithic think. Yeah, shine on. Jump, jam, jive, get down. sits and sighs. So many lost sailors, yeah, they're just passing by. Cloud flow, tree breeze, soaring skies. Gaze in the water, never wonder why. Johnny Tenor just promised she'd be bopped down at the hop. Silver string strong can't make him stop. Jump, jam, jive, Mr. Lollipop. Mr. Lollipop. Jump, jam, jive. 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 For I will always miss you, but away I have to ride. Miss you in the mornings, once I turn and remember the times I held you in the sunset, a crimson gold halo protecting your head. The times you healed me when I lay dying of poison, too weak to crawl out of bed. The times I felt you cool my fever and you came when I whispered your name. The times I felt we could fly. We could fly.
Here's Colentina, a dragon at midnight, an angel at daybreak, I'm sleeping the light.
Sweet Coventina, dream all my sorrows to sleep. Within your waters I long to bathe.
Here's Colentina, a dragon at midnight, an angel at daybreak, asleep in the light.
For I will always miss you, but away I have to ride. Miss you in the mornings, once I turn and remember the times. The times your claws scratched out my eyes and left me crying tearless. The times I tried to explain and you spit on me for being too fearless. The times my stomach roiled in pain, you a banshee named me insane. The times we could fly, we could fly.
Here's Colentina, a dragon at midnight, angel that open the road, my car lies on your bellows back.
Sweet Coventina, within your waters, I long to bathe. Lady Coventina, I drop all my coins. Into your dark I pray and I pray. Hold your jar of gold and glass beads over my head. Lower me into your well and summon my soul. In Coventina's well there are many small springs, and her valley is covered with bubbling pure streams. Her flowing waters heal my heart and are open to the sky. Bubbling pure streams, bubbling pure streams, and her valley is covered with bubbling pure streams.
This Coventina, a dragon at midnight, angel at daybreak, asleep in the light.
Sweet Coventina, dream all my sorrows to sleep.
Coventina, with the Coventina, guided the streams that open the door, my light and wells there.
Sweet Coventina, within your waters I long to bathe. Hello. Yeah, we'll do one more, then we'll take a short, like, little 10-minute break. Yeah. Hey, if you are tuning in, thank you so much. If you're tuning in on Facebook, make sure you do like Audio for the Arts. Make sure you do click the like button. That's really important, and click the follow so that you know what's going on. And if you get a second, go over to the Flow Poetry page, and please do the same. And if you send me a message, first 4 people who send me a message, I'll make sure to get you a free book of poetry. I got a couple for you. So go over to the Facebook, like Audio for the Arts, like Flow Poetry, follow, send me a message, get some poetry sent directly to you. So one more. Kevin, what do we got? Last one here for the first set. Cochlear. Vibration. Frequency. Oscillation. Latency. Sound waves. Sound waves travel through walls. Sound waves travel through walls. Sound waves travel through walls. When sound waves travel through the canal of our ear, they hit the tympanic membrane or eardrum and cause it to vibrate. This vibration causes movement in the ossicles, a trio of tiny bones that transmit the vibration to a structure called the oval window, which sits in the wall of the cochlea. The cochlea is a coiled structure in the inner ear that resembles a snail shell. It resembles a snail shell. In the inner ear, it resembles a snail shell. The interior of the cochlea consists of 3 fluid-filled chambers that run parallel to one another: the scala vestibuli, the scala media, and the scala tympani. The scala vestibuli and the fluid called endolymph. When the oval window is depressed by the ossicles, it creates waves which travel through the fluid of the cochlea. These waves cause a structure called the basilar membrane to move as well. To visualize the function of the basilar membrane, it can be helpful to imagine the cochlear uncoiled. When waves flow through the fluid in the cochlea, they create small waves within the membrane itself that travel down the membrane. Different sections of the membrane respond to different frequencies of sound. As the waves progress down the membrane, they reach their peak at the part of the membrane which responds to the frequency of sound wave created by the original stimulus. In this way, the basilar membrane accurately translates the frequency of sounds picked up by the inner ear into representative neural activity that can be sent to the brain. The translation of the movement of the membrane into electrical impulses occurs in the organ of Corti, which is the receptor organ of the ear. It sits atop the membrane and contains receptor cells known as hair cells. Hair cells are so named because protruding from the top of each cell is a collection of small hair called stereocilia. Stereocilia. When the basilar membrane vibrates, this causes movement of the hair cells and their stereocilia. Movement of the stereocilia opens ion channels and causes the release of neurotransmitters to propagate the auditory signal to the vestibular cochlear nerve, which will carry the information regarding the auditory stimulus to the brain to be analyzed and perceived. Oscillations. Sound waves. Sound waves travel through walls. Sound waves travel through walls. Sound waves travel through walls. When sound waves travel through the canal of our ear, they hit the tympanic membrane or eardrum and cause it to vibrate. This vibration causes movement in the ossicles, a trio of tiny bones that transmit the vibration to a structure called the oval window, which sits in the wall of the cochlea. The cochlea is a coiled structure in the inner ear that resembles a snail shell. The cochlea is a coiled structure within the inner ear that resembles a snail shell. It resembles a snail shell. Resembles a snail shell. sense, right? And like I said, please support Audio for the Arts. Thanks, Noah. Thanks, Buzz. 10 minutes, we'll come back and we'll do a little bit more. Hope to see you back soon. All right, now you can mute this probably. Kev, can you mute this one?
It would be this one.
If I crank, okay.
It's this one. Is that right?
Yeah, that should be correct.
We can also just do a quick little sound check.
Just play a little bit. Let me see if there's adequate sound coming out of this amp.
Welcome back, everybody. Just like the subtitle said, we are right back. This is Acoustic Moose. We're hanging out at Audio for the Arts. Kevin Knapp, Flowpoetry. Grant Blaschke's rocking a camera. Buzz Kemper in there on the audio, and Bruce Johnson's doing some video directing. And I should also shout out 98.7 WVMO, the voice of Monona, a great community radio station that airs these shows after we stream them on the third Friday of every month at 10 p.m. So check back. You'd probably hear this coursing through the air waves some other time. But let's get back to now.
Thank you, Noah. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Thanks to Audio for the Arts. This one's called May O May. Hold me. You have come to me, but I am afraid, and my arms are tired. Oh, strong one, walk with me. You have come to me, but I am afraid, and my legs are tired. Amulets made from serpent's eggs. We carry trees, green branches, and garlands. Untwine and twine and twine and untwine. He that was slain dipped his body in the flames. Untwine and twine and twine and untwine. He that was slain, now only bones remain. Untwine and twine and twine and untwine. The dancers reverse. Sing these ruins as our warriors sleep. They are tired. Untwine and twine and twine and untwine. He that was slain dipped his body in the flames. Untwine and twine and twine and untwine. He that was slain, only bones now remain. Untwine and twine and twine and untwine. Oh, little one, hold me. You have come to me, but I am afraid, and my arms are tired. Oh, strong one, walk with me. You have come to me, but I am afraid, and my legs are tired. Clothe the children in white and walk barefooted to the garden of gathering. First meadow sweet, then mistletoe, then mugwort. I offer this in exchange. Clouds and rain we beg. Let the clouds come down. Let the rains come down. Let the clouds come down and cover us. Untwine and twine and twine and untwine. He that was slain dipped his body in the flames. Untwine and twine and twine and untwine. He that was slain, only bones now remain. oasis of pain, oasis of pleasure, seem to be both at once. Shimmer, shim, sure shams, palm, date, fig, prune, grape. Oh, can you feel it? Asked who himself, answered no one heard. Shimmer, shim, sure shams, slake, pit bull, thirsty tiger. Snap, shot. Snap, shot. Snap, shot. Camel back to desert, to a town without a name. Shimmer, shim, sure shams, palm, date with fate. Snap, shot. Snap, shot. Snap, shot. Coffee hatch, palm thatch, Tufto market, black and blue, dusty twirl, twiddle twaddle, persimmon ripe flake lazily twirling down the diving high road, road high diving the down, twirling lazily flake ripe persimmon ripe flake lazily twirling down the diving high road, road high diving the down, twirling lazily flake ripe persimmon. Lazily twirling. Mesopotamian aesthetic. Nile Valley as a youth, you know I seen better days. Camel, Camare, Camarada. Shimmer pant, desert rant, oasis lost again both at once. Nicely done and up, ethical. Snap, shot. Snap, shot. Snap, shot. Come clean. Come not too clean. Mean. Sorrow full of longings. Tea alone with. Incidental logis. In, sin, cinder, dent, dental, logo, gently slide as tub claw foot sink into linoleum, as cat paw scratch a torn sofa to shreds, as tattooed lizard bite draws blood, as glasses upside down reflect a candle, as one can just sit at times and take notes. It wasn't as if I had said it was effortless. Will it rain? Will it rain? Hey, will it rain? Hey, will it rain? 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 Hey, will it rain? Hey, will it rain? Come clean. Come not too clean. Me. Thank you. Kevin Knapp, everybody. Kevin Arthur Knapp. Beaming out there to you in Facebook, online, streaming live, whatever we are. We hope that you're there, wherever we are. Thanks to Audio for the Arts. My name's Adam. Go by Flowpoetry. Do appreciate what they're doing to support Madison musicians in town here and making these kinds of great spaces available. So you need to press the like button. You need to just click it and like Audio for the Arts. Go ahead and follow along with them. And while you're at it, flow over to the Flowpoetry page. Press the like button there and follow. And if you send me a message after you've done that and say, hey, I'm on board, I'll send you a book of poetry. First 4 people, like the old radio shows, right? 9th caller, whatever. I won tickets to Eddie Money once. I did. 2 tickets to Paradise. I was like 9 or 10 years old, man, and it was like 4th caller, Casey Kasem. They never sent them, man. I don't know if I dreamed it as like, I think it was like whatever I was, 9 or 10 years old at the time. I swear to God, I called. I was the 4th caller. They took my information. Tickets never came. Eddie Money. All right, so this is a Lou Reed tune, Last Great American Whale, off of his New York album. This was also a Venice Gas House Trolley staple. We cover this one. In bars all over Wisconsin, we would do this. Now they say he didn't have an enemy, and his was a greatness to behold. He was the last surviving progeny, the last one on this side of the world. And he measured half a mile from tip to tail, silver and black with powerful fins. They say he could split a mountain in two, and that's how we got the Grand Canyon. Last great American whale. Last great American whale. Last great American whale. Last great American whale. Some say they saw him at the Great Lakes. Some say they saw him off of Florida. My mother said she saw him in Chinatown. But you can't always trust your mother. Off the Carolinas, the sun shines brightly in the day. The lighthouse glows ghostly there at night. The chief of a local tribe had killed a racist mayor's son, and he'd been on death row since 1958. Well, the mayor's kid was a rowdy pig. You know, he spit on Indians and much worse. And the old chief buried a hatchet in his head. Life compared to death for him seemed worse. So the tribal brothers gathered at the lighthouse to sing and tried to conjure up a storm or rain. The harbor parted and a great whale sprang full up and caused a tidal wave. Now the wave crushed the jail and freed the chief. And the tribe, they let out a roar. The whites were drowned, the browns and Indians set free. Oh, but sadly, one thing more. Some local yokel member of the NRA. Well, he had a bazooka in his living room. And thinking he had the chief in his sights. Yeah, he blew out that whale's brains with a lead harpoon. Last great American whale. Last great American whale. Last great American whale. Last great American whale. Americans don't care too much for anything. Land and water the least. And animal life is low on the totem pole. And human life not worth more than infected yeast. And Americans don't care too much for beauty. They'll shit in a river, dump battery acid in a stream. They'll watch dead rats wash up on the beach. And then they complain that they can't swim. They say that things are done for the majority. Don't believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. It's It's like what a musician friend Noah says to me. Stick a fork in their ass and turn them over, they're done. Last great American whale. Thank you. So this is our last one? This is our last one. We do thank you for tuning in. Kevin Knapp, guitar, Ableton, keyboards, bass, loops, pedals. This is really his whole thing. I'm just one of many here. So thanks for welcoming in a little poetry and music. This is the last one for the day. And please keep supporting audio for the arts. Acoustic Moose is on the loose. That I've got small boobs but long legs is what I told him on the internet, and it's 6 a.m. and smelling so good. So I stood in his doorway for 3 minutes and I can picture him sniffing. So I went past his door and then went back again, and he was kind of cute in his red boxer shorts. Fred was nice and Matt was nice too, but Brad said he was fine, and you know they always say it's fine until they break up. And he's a house fellow, is he? I remember when we went to the bash, I wandered over by John and he looked, so I looked down at him, and so now you know, and I'm like, are you coming to the bash? And he was really cool. So how is your house fellow? Well, we don't have a she, and if you mess with her, you're done. Like if you get on her bad side, and if you mess with her, you're done. And it's kind of funny because my old roommate can't look me in the face. We don't get along because basically, as long as she didn't like me basically like or more, yeah, but basically she looked at me and told me no one was allowed to stay over at 2 a.m. Yeah, so on. I was like, okay, this is interesting. And she would glare like when my friends came to the room, and we would laugh at the time I was single, and yeah, what if I got her boyfriend drunk? And she would glare when my friends came to the room, yeah, and I got an infection in March, yeah, I was in New Jersey. And as far as I know, our house fellow goes to sleep early, and he's always on the cell phone. Oh, I got a friend, he's a friend of a friend, he's a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. You got a friend, he's a friend of a friend, she's a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. He's got a friend, he's a friend of 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 a friend. We're all got friends, they're friends of a friend. We're friends of a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. Now the stairwells are awful, but anything above my bed, there is absolutely a picture of some birds. I highly doubt it, a hunter. And he's got a little hand, and she's going to be printing them up around pretty in New York. If you need a good line, the devil's panties, kingface.com. It's so funny, but that's okay. I do have a couple of quarts left. What are you on, my 5th bag of sugar? Bang. And her head cracks open, strike. And the bag walks away, she's a gamer. So she draws all this stuff. So her brain went on strike that the girl who draws everything, Marcy, is 6 foot something, model body, whole bit, tank top, jeans, boots, that type of stuff. And Jen and Marcy, what Jen, do you have black heels? And you see her long black dress, Jen and Marcy and the other chick. So Jen goes, our plan is to make boys cry, to get arrested, black heels, all dolled up, so funny, awesome. Wallpaper out of pictures, and it's on our wall, so everybody is like, who is that? It's Casey, she does it all the time. You'll probably see it once. And I asked, what is the probability of you taking a nap? That was me, God, wait, honest to God, my whole thing is the whole thing blank. But I said like, oh my God, my hair, seriously, I was gonna lose it, oh my God, my hair. That probably took months. This one looks like that person is probably an art major. So what's your point? He's probably bitter. That's good, she always sucks. I hate you, you always said. She said that you're wearing that. Oh, I got a friend, he's a friend of a friend. He's a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. You got a friend, he's a friend of a friend. He's a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. She's got a friend, she's a friend of 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 a friend. We all got friends, we're friends of a friend. We're all friends of a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. to bed, and there wasn't. I told Mom I was feeling very comfortable, but didn't realize we're not moving. She's like, I'm like bags, booty straps, kind of cute, multiple, and it's rain. Oh, hey, Ruth, it's a good point, and not so much structure, but don't worry, that's the way my world is. Picturing things like that. Keep the pen moving in the car. How do you do that one, and how did I know that one was going to come to me? All of you need to go have your boyfriend. Kiss him afterwards. Nauseous, it's so bad. You're in the minority. You too, kissing someone who tasted like aspirin. You kissed someone I went to the grocery store. I got a friend who's a friend of 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 a friend. You got a friend, she's a friend of a friend. Friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. We got friends, we're all friends of a friend. We're a friend of a friends of a friends of a friend. Did so definitely not want you to go home, no matter what I'm talking. And yeah, I know I thought about that, and you're like drunk all the time, and you didn't think, and it's a tough decision. When was that? You know that's the first thing she said, you assume. Oh, I got a friend, he's a friend of a friend, he's a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. You got a friend, he's a friend of 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 a friend. She's got a friend, she's a friend of a friend, she's a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. We all got friends who are friends of a friend, they're friends of a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend.
Adam. Thank you, all you for the arts. Thank you for our listeners here, Ken and Michael. I hope everybody has a great night. Thank you so much.
I just want to do technical credits. Thank you guys so much, Kevin, Adam, you guys. Yeah, that was absolutely fantastic. And I want to thank Bruce Johnson, our director, Noah Gilfillan and Grant Blashka are our two camera operators. And I'm Buzz Kemper, Audio for the Arts. I did the audio stuff. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you at the next one.